And to think I saw Mulberry Street, the very first children's book by Dr. Seuss. Note, his actual first book was the Book of Boners. For Alon McSee, one of the one and original Marco. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can see. But when I tell him where I've been and what I think I've seen, he looks at me and sternly says, Your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales. Now, what can I say when I go home today? All the long way to school and all the way back, I've looked, and I've kept careful track, but all I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. That's nothing to tell of. That won't do, of course. Just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse. That can't be my story. That's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling that cart, and that's a story that no one can beat when I said I saw Mulberry Street. Yes, the zebra's fine, but I think it's a shame. Such a marvelous beast with a cart that's so tame. The story would really be better to hear if the driver I saw were a charioteer. A golden blue chariot, something to meet, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. No, it won't do at all. A zebra's too small. A reindeer's better. He's fast and he's fleet, and look mighty smart on Mulberry Street. Hold on a minute. There's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels to pull a thing that runs on wheels, but he'd be much happier instead if he could pull a fancy sled. A reindeer sleigh. Say, anyone can think of that. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Say, even Jane can think of that. But isn't it too late to make one little change? A sleigh and an elephant. There's something strange. I'll pick one with plenty of power and size. A blue one with plenty of fun in his eyes. And then just give him a little more tone. Have a Raja with rubies perched high on the throne. Say, that makes a story that no one can beat. When I said I saw it on Mulberry Street. But now, I don't know. It still doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light will whip it around in the air like a kite. But he looks simply grand with a great big brass band. A band that's so good you have someone to hear it. But it's going so fast it's hard to keep near it. Upon a trailer. I know they won't mind if a man sits and listens while hitched on behind. But now, is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I'll bet that those wagons weigh more than a ton. That's really too heavy a load from one beast. I'll give him some helpers. He needs two at least. But now, what worries me is this. Mulberry Street runs into bliss. Unless there's something I can fix up, there'll be an awful traffic mix-up. It takes police to do the trick, to guide them through a traffic stick. It takes police to do the trick. They'll never crash now. They'll race at top speed, with Sergeant Mulvaney himself in the lead. The mayor's there, and he thinks it's grand, and he raises his hat as they dash by his stand. The mayor's there and the alderman too, all waving big banners of red, white, and blue. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say I saw it on Mulberry Street. With the roar of its motor, an airplane appears and dumps out confetti while everyone cheers. And that makes a story that's really not bad. But it still could be better. Suppose that I add a Chinese boy who eats with sticks, a big magician doing tricks, a 10-foot beard that needs a comb. No time for more. I'm almost home. I swung round the corner and dashed through the gate. I ran up the steps and I felt simply great, for I had a story that no one could beat, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But Dad said quite calmly, Just drop your stool and tell me the sights on the way home from school. There was so much to tell, I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply and pulled at his chin. He frowned me sternly from there in the seat. Was there nothing to look at? No people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat? Nothing, I said, growing red as a beet, but a plain horse and wagon on Mulberry Street. The end. No mums were harmed in the making of storytelling.